to understand and explain phenomena and to guide practice and policy. Okay, so quantitative, when you talk about quantity, it's all about numbers, all right? And then you have an objective. Once you have an objective, and then of course you know what is actually that you would like to conduct a research. So once you already have an objective, and then you have to collect the data. Once you collect the data, and then you have to analyze using statistical analysis. So because you like to see through your observation. For example, you go for distributing a questionnaire. So an organized method for conducting deductive. So when we talk about quantitative, we go for deductive with precise empirical observations of individual behavior in order to discover and confirm a set of probabilistic causal laws that can be used to predict general patterns of human activity. So like recently we have Amanat Rector at the Amanat Rector presented to us, okay, the statistic of the level of satisfaction among UiTM staff, okay, level of satisfaction among UiTM staff working in UiTM, all right? And then we can see that majority of them, because we have two gender, male and female, and male and female, of course, we have lots of male rather than female, and then we can see that lots of response came from female, okay? And then both male and female have to what do we call, have to fill out the questionnaire, okay, and then we have to circle all the items, okay. We call it as a Likert scale, 1 to 5. I think that you are familiar with all this questionnaire, and then you are familiar with the Likert scale, all right. So from there you have to circle down all the questions. So let's say that we have about 100 questions. We have to give our opinion, okay. We have to give our thoughts, okay. So what do you think about the what, the environment, okay, or about your leader at UiTM Kedah. So and then there's a one question, last question, they asking us, okay, some sort of like suggestion and comments how we can improve, okay, the working place or UiTM Kedah itself. All right, so there is a lots of comments, okay. Some of the comments quite negative, some of comments is quite positive, okay. So that is the way how you conduct quantitative, right? So you need to distribute the questionnaire. So instead of you are doing observation, unlike qualitative, okay, this one is more on inductive, right? Because systematic analysis of socially meaningful action through the direct detailed observation of people in natural setting in order to arrive at understanding and interpretations of how people create and maintain their social world, okay. So you have to really understand and interpret the phenomenon or the situation that happened in that particular area. Okay. So for example, like you would like to investigate the students who are having a depression. You cannot simply distribute the question, because you need to identify who are the right person that having a depression. So not all your item Kedah students having a depression, only a few of people. So that's why you have to do purposive, uh, purpo- pur- purposive, okay, purposive sampling, which is that you need to ask, okay, for example, the counselor, of course, they have a data, who are the students, or maybe you can ask the KPP, you identify who are the person that having a depression, or maybe that you have an anxiety or you have a mental disorder. So from there, once you identify, so let's say that we conclude that we have about 8,000 students, so you identify about 20 students having a depression. So what you should do next, okay, you have to do the observation, you have to look the way how the in terms of the attitude, okay, how they communicate, okay, in terms of action. And not only that, okay, so after you conducted the observation, you have to do the interview. It can be a semi-structured or structured, fully structured, okay. So from there you can interview them, and then asking them uh first thing that you can ask to them, okay, you have to tell about your background, okay, and then what might that you having depression, okay, so what are the factors, right? So is there any solution? So that there are so many things that you can ask, but you cannot simply ask like that, okay. Everything that you ask based on the back to research objective and research question, what is actually that you are looking into it, okay. If you like to know more the factors, then you perhaps that you can ask them, okay, what are the factors that could lead to the depression or anxiety, okay. So that is your job as a researcher. So you have to investigate and interview them in depth, all right. So let's say that you would like to know more about autism. One of my student, PhD student, so currently she would like to investigate about autism. Does autism students, or for those who are unemployed, especially autism, has a potential to become entrepreneur. All right. So because why she did that? Okay, because her son also being detected as a autism. All right. So autism, that there's a lots of types of autism. So that is the that is the research that they need to investigate. Okay, so it is quite interesting. All right, because you cannot simply distribute questionnaire to all people, because not all people are autistic. All right, so you need to identify who are the person. You need to get the data from the government database, so to ensure that you are asking the right person. Okay, and then it is concerned with the production of meaning. Okay, and then instead of relying solely on hard fact and figures, reliability tests and selected sample of setting and people, qualitative research take into account what quantitative research neglects, subjective points of view or the inner life, intended and unintended consequences, idiosyncrasies and the like. Okay, so you like to know inner life. You would like to know more about what might that they are having depression or anxiety or mental disorder. Okay, because we can see right now, regardless of age, gender, races, okay, everyone having a depression. Okay, it happened especially during the COVID-19. Too many Malaysian people having depression because of you don't have any income. How are you going to survive without an income? Lots of companies has been shut down. Okay, a lot of essential sectors has been shut down. Okay, and then what will be the how are you going to depends? All right, so of course you have to work. Okay, but in order for you to do that, you as a researcher would like to know more about how you deal with this kind of anxiety and so on. Okay, then we have here scientific research. There are 8 aspect, okay, that you should know about scientific research. Okay, first we go for purposive, rigor, testability, replicable, precision and confidence, objectivity, generalization and parsimony. All right, so what is actually purposiveness? Purposiveness, all research start with a definite aim or purpose. Okay, you cannot simply say that I would like to do research, but you have no nothing. You need to have you have to identify the problem in order for you to run the research, or to run the or you like to investigate certain problems. Okay, so what be the problem that happen right now? Okay, so perhaps that you can give some sort like example. The our currency ringgit Malaysia not stable. Okay, and then we have what boycott. Okay, and then there's the issue about KK Mart. All right, and then there's the issue about uh people keep on having a depression, anxiety, because recently we heard a news about one of this mother, okay, tried to stab, I think stab or kill her children. Okay, so I think that the children is 1 year old or less than 1 year old. Okay, so this one is quite sad. Then what might that she did that, and even in fact she's really brave enough, okay, to send the what her daughter or son, okay, that already die, okay, and then WhatsApp towards to her husband. Okay, so and then scammers, all right, okay, and then we have yeah, you also can do a research about divorce. Okay, because we can see that lots of people, especially during the COVID-19, people keep on divorce. So because when we talk about research, you can research everything, but however it is, we go back, what would be your area of expertise, what would be the area that you would like to investigate. So since that you are under human resources, suppose you need to identify what was the issues that coming in related to the human resource. All right, so the example given over here also related to human resource. Increasing the commitment of employees to the organization benefits less turnover, less absenteeism, increased performance level. Okay, so you can do that. You can make an investigation how to ensure that employees can give a full commitment to the organization. And second example, increase in customer satisfaction would mean introducing customer complaints and increasing sale. Okay, this one also is quite common. What might that you are what do we call, how we want to ensure that the sales is increased. Okay, one of the way that you can do is try to reduce customer complaints. Whenever that customers complain and it never reduce, it keep on increasing, so of course it's going to affect your sales, right? And then benefit, okay, profit and increase market share. That will be a benefit. Secondly, we go for rigor. So what does it mean by rigor? Rigor, carefulness in research investigation and degree of exactitude in the research investigation. Whatever that, whenever that we conduct a research, so make sure that must be straight, okay, and then you have to follow the process. So involve a good theoretical base and a carefully thought out methodology. Example, a researcher may only interview 5 to 10 customers from a total of 10,000 customers. All right. So you cannot simply do that. Okay. Why you like to select only 10 customers out of 10,000 customers? Okay. So whenever that you pick something like that, pick randomly. Okay. So they say that we have about 9,000 students and then you only pick 30. Why 30 out of 9,000? Okay. Because not even 50% that you take the what, the population, the sample size. Okay. So if on the basis of their response alone the manager reaches several conclusions on how customer satisfaction ability can be increased, so the whole approach to the investigation would be unscientific due to the basis of a few customers whose opinions may not represent those of the entire customer population. Right? If you like to go for interview, then you like to ask them what might that you are not satisfied. Okay, so why the sales is increased? Okay, because of I am not satisfied in terms of what. So do you know the issues of KK Mart, right? So KK Mart, they did making this kind of apology. Okay, but still we cannot accept. Uh, because they simply printed out the socks, okay, using kalima of Allah. Okay, so totally cannot be accepted. Okay, why they didn't check thoroughly? Why they didn't go back, ask the vendor? Okay, and then supposedly they cannot simply accept. Okay, so how about the quality checking and so on? So you cannot ask, okay, about one customer, okay, to ask the perception about the level of satisfaction of KK Mart. You suppose you have to ask all the customers that already buy their products from the KK Mart. Okay, so that's why you have to be very rigid and strict. You have to follow the process. You cannot simply skip one thing, another thing, skip this thing to another thing. Okay, so you cannot do that. All right. Next, because end up whenever that you come up with your own judgment and generalization, so can you imagine what happened? So it will produce a poor research. You say that, yeah, you attend Kedah, you overclaim you attend Kedah having a depression. All the lecturers as well as the students. Okay, how you can prove that how you can prove that they are having a depression? So you say that, oh, I already interviewed about 20 students and 30 students and all of them agreed that they are having a depression. However, you didn't ask the rest of the students. Okay, so 9,000, 20, 30 out of 9,000 you asked, okay, but you didn't ask the rest of the students. So you come up with that kind of conclusion, totally cannot be accepted. That will be a poor research. You cannot simply overclaim that you are concluding that majority of your ITM Kedah, not only staff as well as the students, okay, they are having a depression. Okay, totally wrong. All right, unless that you are doing a rigor research, okay, which is that you have made an investigation, you follow the procedures, and then you have analyzed, and then you come up with the conclusion. Yeah, majority of your ITM Kedah, about 90%, they are having a depression. Okay, and then next, we have your testability. So once you identify the what, uh, once you okay, once you already identify the what, the you collect the data, you collect the data. So and then you have to test. Okay, you have the data, you have to test, means that you receive all the numbers of papers or numbers of comments. Okay, what's next? Then you have to key in the data into Excel or SPSS. So once you already key in, okay, and then you're going to get the result. So that result, you can see whether that the result will be accepted or rejected. For example, customer satisfaction has a significant positive relationship with company sales for product Y. Okay, macam mana? Product Y, let's say that we go for KK Mart. Do you think that it has a positive relationship? Do you think that you are satisfied, okay, with the product offered from the KK Mart? Some of them said yes, some of them said no. So if you buy socks, you said that no, okay, because it's printed out the kalima of Allah. But let's say that for those who said yes, they didn't buy that product, which is a product, but they buy other product from KK Mart. Okay, but how you can prove that it's going to be significant or positive? So that's why to test the hypothesis, and empirical statistical analysis like Pearson correlation test should be able to be conducted. So what is Pearson correlation test? So they would like to see the relationship between customer satisfaction as well as the sales of product. What is there any relationship or not? Okay, how are you going to prove that there's a relationship? So that's why we have to conduct analysis via SPSS. Okay, so that will be another chapter that going to explain about that. All right, so this one is just general knowledge about what is testability. Okay, and then we have your replicable. Replicable referring to the result of the test of the should be supported again and yet again when the same type of research is repeated in other similar circumstances. So it is not wrong if you like to replicate someone else research. Okay, however, okay, not 100% you have to copy the words, okay, or the text, okay, inside that particular thesis. Replicable referring to, let's say that if you like to study about the customer level or satisfaction, customer satisfaction, you can do the same thing, customer satisfaction. But however, that previous research they are conducting customers satisfaction in construction, okay, in terms of construction sector, but this one you like to go for retailing sector. Okay, so you can replicate, but you can look at the different setting, different respondents. Okay, you cannot have the same respondent, you can replicate that. Okay, so however, let's say that from overseas, you quite impressed with that thesis from that overseas, and then you like to replicate in Malaysia. You can do that because we have a different two context of study. Okay, in overseas as well as in Malaysia. Okay, so the hypothesis would not have been supported by chance, but reflective of the true state of affairs in the population. If a research finding stipulate that marketing effort is the most significant contributing factor to customer satisfaction, which eventually leads to increased sales, then repeated studies should reveal similar result. Okay, so as they stated over here, when you discover that in overseas they say that marketing effort contributed most factors. Okay, and make sure that you are going to get the similar result like from the previous study. Okay, so previous study said that marketing effort will contribute to the customer satisfaction. We are expecting the same thing in your study as well if you conducting a study in Malaysia. All right, so whenever that you have a contradiction, okay, that's good because we can see the different result. But what might that you have a different result compared to the previous study? Okay, and then we have here precision and confidence. Precisions, the closeness of the finding to reality based on a sample. So you can see the findings that you receive is actually in reality also you are receiving the same result. Okay, so they say that you theoretically you said, or after you run the analysis, you identify that the customer truly satisfied if you are treat the customers friendly. Okay, if you treat customers well. Okay, and reality, and then we can see that reality when you look at true observation, so you can see also support the theory that you already proposed. Okay, so which is whoever treated your customers really well, so indirectly we can say that all the customers were totally satisfied. That will be a precision. And confidence will be the probability that our estimations are correct. You come up with this kind of percentage. Confidence level 95% claims that 95% of the time result will be true, and there is only 5% chance of being wrong, because we are dealing with the number. Example, if I estimated the number of customer complaints are reduced by 10%, the sale will be increased 50%. Okay, that is your expectation. The sale will be increased if the customer complaint reduced to 10%. So after you come up with this kind of analysis, and then you identify that not 50% sale will increase, but only 13%. That the gap between 50 and 13, that we can say uh, as what the interval. Okay, confidence level, okay, is 95%, but there's a gap only 2 or 3, that one also can be accepted. All right, and then objectivity. Okay, so objectivity, whenever that I just try to conclude, I'm not going to read all. Whenever you do a research, so it's compulsory for you to do the research objective. Okay, so why might you to do the research objective? Because you like to have a direction. For example, if we had a hypothesis that stated that greater participation in decision making will increase organizational commitment, and this was not supported by the result, it makes no sense if the researcher continue to argue the increased opportunities for employee participation would still help. Okay, So objective is actually derived from the problem statement. Once you already come up with your own problem statement, so then you have to set up the research objective and research question. Okay, so if you can see all these example related to the customer satisfaction. If the research question related to customer satisfaction against the sake of previous sample was supported, to increase customer satisfaction through hefty marketing effort will be a waste of resources and time. Same goes to third example. If research show that increased pay is not going to increase pay, it's not going to increase the job satisfaction. Of course, without increment, okay, indirectly we can say that the customers' satisfaction level, of course, you are not totally satisfied, right? So we are satisfied after you say that you're going to increase your the payment, all right? The implementation or by increased pay system will only drag down the company financially without attaining the desired objective. Okay? And then the last part will be parsimony. Very careful in using resources. Parsimony, the simple word that we can see over here, simplicity, in explaining the phenomena or problems that occur and generating solution for the problems. Okay, especially some of the students. Sometimes that they explain to us, I cannot understand what they are trying to say. So I say that, can you try to simplify so that I truly understand what you are trying to do? Okay. So in your solution for the problem, it's always preferred to complex research framework that consider an unimaginable number of factors. So what are the factors? We are looking at the variables. Parsimony can be introduced with a good understanding of the problem and the important factors that influence it. Okay. So example over here, four variable that could increase sales by 50% would be more valuable to the researcher than identify 10 variable that increase sales by 55%. Why you like to investigate 10 variable? Four variable is sufficient, because four variables also it will contribute to the increased sales by 50%, not 10 variable will increase sales by 55%, because you can see the gap only a little gap of 5%. However, the variables that you use is only 10, so it is quite large. All right, so you have to think about it. And then generalizability. Okay, generalizability is really important. As I explained to you just now, we cannot simply generalize that all of UITM Kedah having a depression. Okay, so the scope applicatory research finding in one research setting to other setting, the wider the range of ubiquity of the solution generated by research, the more useful the research is to others. Okay, example that they already provided here, in the case of a huge sample is taken from manufacturing firms of various countries. As such, this study has huge value of generalizability. Therefore, findings of such research have greater usefulness and value of firm in manufacturing across the board. Okay, so this one we can use as a generalizability, means that you come up with your own conclusion. Okay, so they say that huge sample is taken, and then some this study has value of generalizability. Okay, and then finding of research have greater usefulness and value to firm in manufacture across the board. Okay. Okay, next we have here deductive and inductive. Can someone read inductive and deductive? Anyone volunteer? Or you
Move
already
from
sleeping?
the inductive model, move from the particular to the general, form a set of specific observation to the discovery of a pattern representing some degree of order. This is a model in which general principles are developed from specific observation. The deductive model move from the general to the specific.
Okay, let's
From
continue.
a pattern that might be logically or theoretically expected to observations that test whether the expected pattern actually occurs. Um,
Sorry. Nak
this
tengok.
is a model in which specific expectation of hypotheses are developed on the basis of general principles.
Okay, this one, what do you understand from this? So this one is one of the favorite question. Okay, and then you can look at this relationship. Okay, so as I mentioned to you before, induction is qualitative, deduction will be quantitative. Okay, so we start. Do you understand about this diagram? So when we talk about deduction, we can start with the theory first. Okay, and then you have to make assumption by doing hypothesis, and then you have to make observation, and the last part will be empirical generalization. That will be the flow for deduction. How about induction? So induction, usually they don't have theory. Okay, so they can start doing observation, empirical generalization, as well as the last part will be theory. Okay, so for qualitative, usually we go develop the theory. For quantitative develop the theory. Quantitative they didn't develop the theory, but they need to find a underpinning theory to support the data. Okay. So that's why bear in mind, inductive we go for qualitative, deductive will be quantitative. Okay. And then here are some of the relationship that you can see, as I mentioned you just now. To make the differences between deductive and inductive, deductive they start with the developed theory. For inductive, towards the end, they have developed the theory. Okay. So for deductive, formulate hypothesis, collect analyze data, and the last part will be accept or reject hypothesis. Okay. So, deduction is a process by which a researcher begins with theoretical proposition and then move toward concrete empirical evidence. We may theorize that all high performers are highly efficient in their job. Okay, so they come up with this kind of what do we call expectation. Okay, inductive reasoning, observe phenomena, analyze pattern and themes, formulate relationship, and the last part will be develop theory. Okay, so you are taking also some of the lecture also conducting a study in qualitative, and then we can see that uh, that there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of phenomenon which that you can dig into it. All right. And then what's next? Analyze patterns and themes, formulate relationship, and the last part will be you are going to develop theory. It's not necessarily that you have to develop the theory. Okay, we allow you to do so. Okay, but we encourage you to do develop theory because it's not an easy. Right? Okay, inductive. Okay, characteristics of good research. Okay, can someone read? Can someone read?
Research question, and research objective should be clearly stated without an ambiguity. A researcher has to draw a clear understanding between symptoms of the organization's problem, the manager's perception of the problem, and the research problem.
Okay, can you continue? Research process detail.
The research process and procedures used should be described in sufficient detail to permit another researcher to repeat the research. The researcher should provide a complete proposal.
Okay, very good. All right. I think you guys are clearer. Okay. What does it mean by purpose clearly defined? Because I have an experience examine Viva students, PhD as well as master. So some of them they are very good. Some of them I have to read DRP. I ask them to repeat again, because we totally don't understand. A researcher has to draw a clear understanding between symptom of the organization problem, the manager perception of the problem, and the research problem. Once you understand the problem, then you can come up with your own objective. The problem is you yourself didn't understand the problem. Okay, whenever you didn't understand the problem, how are you going to conduct a research? So that's why you have to clearly define, okay, what will be the problem, and then how you're going to come up with your own solution. All right. And then research process detail and procedure used should be described in sufficient detail to permit another researcher to repeat the research. Okay, so you are asking people, all right, to repeat the research. So, for example, like you are no longer interested, okay, to do this research. What you can do next, you can ask another person or someone else, okay, to continue your research or to repeat the research. So the researcher should provide a complete proposal. And then next, weapon research. Anyone? Please volunteer. Untuk ngantuk ni kan, kena buka mata sikit.
The procedural research design should be carefully planned to yield results that are as objective as possible. The researcher should be knowledgeable in research methodology, which include aspects such as sampling procedure, data collection, measurement of variable or instrumentation, and analysis of data.
Okay, continue.
The researcher should report all limitations of research in terms of research design procedures and estimate their effect on the finding and conclusion. A competent
Okay.
researcher should be sensitive to the
Okay.
effects of imperfect design, and his or her
Mm-hmm.
experience in analysis the data should provide a basis for estimating their influence.
Okay, okay, good. So when we talk about well-planned research, sometimes that when you pursue your study, okay, as a master student or PhD student, you need to really understand what you are doing. Okay, so you cannot simply meet the supervisor and then doctor, we would like to make a research. No, you cannot simply do it like that. So at least in your mind, you have an idea what is actually that you like to do. Okay, and even in fact, you have to find any kind of trusted sources, okay, which is that you can to help you out to give an idea what is actually that you want to do. All right, so actually you can find through social media, all right, from the journals, magazines, and also any other sources, so to ensure that it will give you an idea what you are doing. All right, so so from there, even in fact in my students as well, okay, so they majority of them, okay, uh majority of them come and see me, okay, and then they already come up with their own, they already propose the title, so which is good. All right, so when I look at the title, it's not simply that we can accept just like that, but we have to revise, okay, and then we have to ensure that they really understand what they are doing. The problem is they don't really understand. So like me myself, I'm doing PhD in operations management. I would like to know about the issues of waste, okay, why waste always problem in all in organization. Okay, so when we talk about waste, so waste it happen in all organization. So how we want to ensure that we can overcome all these waste. Okay, and my focus is in the healthcare sector. All right, in fact in healthcare sector also, they are do a lot of waste. And waste, when we talk about waste, it's all about lots of types of waste. Okay, so I have to plan, okay, and then I have to put some sort like make sure that I'm on the right track. Okay, so if I didn't well plan, so that's why we can see that some of the lecturers, they do not graduate on time. Some of them, they didn't finish their studies. Some of them they what they stop, okay, and then they continue come up with a new title. So we don't want to have that kind of problems. Okay, so what we can do, we need to have a well planned research. So that's why we have to communicate with your supervisors. All right. And then a limitation of research. Okay, the researcher should report all limitations of research. Okay, so whenever you do a research, so of course there must be a limitation, especially during the COVID-19. Okay, during the COVID-19, majority of the researcher, they cannot go out. Okay, so what they can do is they have to distribute the questionnaire through online. Okay, so I think that that will be a good thing for the researcher as well, because usually that we have to go down and then we have to meet all the respondents, okay, to what meet all the respondents to fill out the questionnaire. However, because of the COVID-19, it forcing you to conduct the survey through online. Okay, but I think that online is much more cheaper. Okay, totally safe. Okay, do not wasting your time. That we can say COVID-19 itself is a limitation. All right, and not only that COVID-19, but you can put other things as well for limitation of research, for example like a sample size. So usually that you're just focusing only UITM Kedah. So next future research, okay, so what you can do, you try to make uh, a UITM para, UITM, I mean you are focusing in the northern region, UITM Perlis, UITM Penang. Okay, so you're going to collect all the data from them and then you can make a comparison. Okay, so sample size also is one of the limitation. Okay, next we have here ethical issue. Can someone read ethical issues? Anyone volunteer?
Ethical issue in research reflect the researcher's ability to very transparent on the limitations of the researcher and the accuracy in data handling. There should be no manipulations of data in order to reflect desired findings. Furthermore, greater confidence in the research is warranted if the researcher is experienced, has a good reputation in research, and is a person of
Alright,
integrity.
okay. So this one is quite common, ethical issues. You know, one of the there's a recent issues that they produced an article. However, they forgot to remove the chat GPT sentences. Okay, so this one is very unethical. Okay, one of the article is you are depending too much on the AI, especially chat GPT, to write up for you. Secondly, okay, you are conducting this kind of plagiarism. Your copy from other people's work, okay, but you didn't make a citation, and then and the worst part is, okay, you write an article, but you didn't give a credit to that particular person to contribute the article. Also is another issue. So in fact, in UiTM Kedah as well, UiTM Shah Alam proposing to fill up all the ethics thing in the RET system, okay, research ethic system, okay. So to ensure whenever that we would like to conduct a research, so make sure that we need to have a consent, okay, and then we have to get an approval from Shah Alam before we proceed to collect the data, okay. If you didn't follow this kind of follow the rules and regulations and also all this kind of ethics thing, so it's going to affect the your research, right? Okay, now here are some of the overview of a research process. The 7-step process: identify a broad problem area, define the problem statement, hypothesis, measures, collection, analysis, interpretation of data. So this one I'm not going to go into detail because each of the chapter I would like to explain in detail, okay, about all this aspect under research process. Okay, this one I'm not going to go into detail. So just give an overview. Okay, however, in other chapter, I will focusing specifically about all the aspect, each of the aspect under research proposal. Okay, so that's it. That's all for chapter 1. Any question? Any question? So far, you guys clear?
So far clear, Doctor.
So far, okay, Doctor.
Clear, Doctor.
Okay, good. All right. So what I want to share with you, okay, I would like to explain how to find an article, okay, and then how you're going to find a research title, okay. So maybe some of you already know, okay, but I would like to share some of the way that you're going to, or tips to find a title. You have to do it as soon as possible. Do not delay, okay. Otherwise, if you do last minute, so it's going to affect uh your timeline, okay, your performance. Okay, let me go to the library. You can ask me while I'm searching for this thing, right? So I'm going to share this one. Okay, can you see? Can you see?
No, Doctor.
No, Doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now can alright, this is the way that you're going to find the sources to for article. Okay, you go for MyKM, alright. This one you access the library UiTM, and then you go for Google UiTM account, assign it with Google, okay. Nina solat je kat sini. Alright, okay, and then this one I click my email. Lekung saya dah ada dia. I punya pakai I punya tak apa. Ha. Alright. Okay. So it will appear like this, alright? So I'm not sure how you open up the library, but usually so you click this online database. Okay, and then the page would be like this. Can you see or not? The page in front of you right now, it will appear the what my knowledge management, right? Okay, JCR Emerald database, isn't it?
Yes, betul.
Yes,
Yes, doctor.
Alright. Then we have to click over here Emerald Insight. So let's say that you choose, okay, this one we call it as a database, IEEE Emerald Insight, okay, and then Scopus WS. Okay, this one we call it as a database. It's not journal yet. Okay, so on each of the database we have a journal. All right. So so let's say that we go for Emerald. Okay. So I'm not sure whether that you have in your mind what would be the issues that you are looking at. Perhaps that you would like to share. Is there any idea that or is there any topic in your mind that you would like to focus on? Anyone would like to share? Then I will click over here. I will try to look whether that is it a hot topic right now or not. Anyone would like to share any related to human resource, or let's say that if you uh, no idea to relate with the human resource, so you can touch any other topics as well outside of the human resource. Anyone would like to share? Guys, come on, you always assessing social media, and then of course you need to know what be the current issues that happen around you.
Doctor, equal employment opportunity?
Equal employment opportunity, EEO.
Yes. Yes.
Opportunity. Okay, so let's say that you have an interest to do this topic, but you don't have any idea what you like to investigate, isn't it? So what you can
Yes.
do is, all right, you can put the topic there, all right. So let's say the term only, the keywords EEO, okay. So once you already key in the keywords, okay. Manage PS. So you have to look at the on the right side of you. Okay, so we have assess year content type. All right, and then they will provide it to you last month, 3 months, 6 months. So let's say that if you like to have a specific year or specific month. Okay, so you can especially year. So let's say that when you find an article, so you cannot simply find for the past 10 years or 20 years. So suppose you have to find for the past 5 years, right? So let's say that we go for 2018, okay, until 2024. All right. Okay, we go starting from 2018 until 2024. So what you can do is, okay, then next, okay, content type will be article, book part only one.
Doktor,
So click
sorry. Doktor
yes.
punya slide depan
Oh,
ni
alright,
yang
alright.
bergerak
Yes,
ke?
yes. Okay, okay. Just a second. Oh, I forgot to click the tab. Okay, how about now? Can you see or not?
Yes.
Alright, let me go back and then I will share it to you again. Okay. So right now, what did you see? You see I mean the year over here. When I click the last one, can you see or not? Last 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Please interrupt me. So let's say that if I miss something, so let's say we put over here 2018 until 2024. Okay, and then you have to click go. Okay. So once you click go, okay, it will appear like this. All right. Then they will appear all the latest article starting from 2018 until 24. Articles that you found between this year only 7. All right. So let's say that you they didn't I don't think that they have us focusing on too much on the equal employment opportunity. Okay, because whenever that you have the too specific, also you have a problem to find the topic that you like to do. Okay, so they didn't highlight too much on the equal employment opportunity, because we have specified the year 2000 and 2018 until 2024. So let's say that we go for advanced search like this, right? Okay, so perhaps that you can see in front of you. Then you have advanced search, you click journal articles, okay, and then you put over here equal employment opportunity. Okay, and then are you going to add another keywords? If you like to have add another keywords, then you have to add row. Okay, but for the time, as for now, we are going to focus only EEO, equal employment opportunity. So don't ever find any other sources. So the first thing that you will like to focus would be the journal article. All right. So then you have to put date range from year into what year? 2018 until 2024. All right. And then assess type. Do you have any specific type that you like to look for it? Okay. First, you go for open access. Open access means that you can access all the informations anywhere. Let's say that you are in London, in India, or in US. Okay, you can have this kind of open access. You can access all the article freely, okay, for free. And then or you like to choose only content I have access to. So let's say that you don't have any idea, so what you can do is you can put all content. So all content, whether that you purchase or not purchase, so it will include under all content. Then you have to click search here. Okay, okay, you click search here. Okay, it will appear like this. Okay, does gender equality breach? Okay, maybe they do not come out exactly like what you want, but actually it will give you an idea, some of the keywords related to the equal employment opportunity. Okay, they appear, and then they give some sort like suggestion. So for example, let's say that we go for, okay, how are you going to read this? So how you have to find that this content is available? You have to read over here. Content available. Publication date 28 August 2020. And then are you going to open up the file through HTML or PDF? Like for me, I'm using PDF, always using PDF, all right? Then to the responsible talent management model, okay, 20 January 2020 article. If they say content available, so you can access, but let's say that if they put some sort like an error, okay, means that you are not allowed, okay, to open up that article. All right, so this one is EO. What's the execute way to employ motive influences? So for example, let's say that I'm going to click this one, graduating students 10 points on WASTA as a gateway to employment motives and influences. You can click PDF over here. Okay, it will appear the article like this. All right, share this tab instead. Okay, can you see or not the article here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. So this one, let's say that this is the title, and then here are the author's name. All right, this is the way that how you're going to read the article, and then here are the receive date will be 30 April, revised 20 July, accepted 24 July. So I think that quite fast. Okay, the process. Purpose, designing methodology approach, finding originality and value, keywords, WASTA, multi-influences, employment, Jordan. Okay, there are several sections in one article. Okay, introduction, methodology, result and discussion. All right. Okay, and it is good whenever that you find an article, you go for paper type, research paper. So do not find conceptual paper, do not find editorial paper, do not find, means that any other, instead of research paper, you don't have to look at it, you just focus on research paper. If they put the paper type is research paper, then you have to click that research paper. Okay, and then introduction over here, you don't have to look at it. What you can do is you go directly to this one. Right, conclusion. They put over here study limitations and direction for future research. Okay, sometimes that they put this subsection put under conclusion, but this one they go separate section. So let's say that study limitation and direction for future research. This is the section, which is that you have to look into it, you have to highlight to help you out to give an idea how you can conduct a research. So for example, limitation of this study, it was conducted with a relatively small number of participants at a single academic institution. Okay, like I told you before, a single academic institution, small number participant. Okay, uh, supposedly we need to have a big number, but because of the limitation in terms of you like to save a lot of times, okay, and then you have to uh, run the research, okay, within the time period, all right, for example like 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. So that's why you go for small sample size rather a big sample size. While structured themes may seem generalizable, they have not been tested amongst a broader audience considering contextual information such as social background or having previous experience. So the result, blah 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 blah, you can read, and then you have to read what will be the future research. Okay, the result is provide insight where ni, okay, and then what you can do is to use. Explaining this contract review is not easy, needs to further, okay. This one, the keywords over here. Although individuals may share similar external environment pressure that could encourage them to use WASTA for employment purposes, this research shows that one would accept and justify its use for one side, yet reject it for others. Explaining this contradictory reviews is not easy and needs further exploratory research. Okay, whenever they did mention about need to have a further research or need to have a further exploratory research, so this is the way that how they are going to give an idea for you to conduct a next research. From a different perspective, it's significant to understand the motive of WASTA patrons in addition to its beneficiaries, which would assist in identifying the role of those who got involved in WASTA and contribute to thoroughly understand the psychology behind it. Okay, what is name to what to support the employees. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, so I'm going to okay share this instead. So how about we are talking about boycott? All right, so we go back over here. So let's say that you like to touch about boycotting. All right, boycott. Okay, then you click search. Wait dah. Okay, bye. Work from home, jangan clock out lagi. Alright, see you. Okay. Right, now you can see or not. Okay. Does gender quality? Right. Sorry, I didn't change at this section. Okay, then I put over here boycott. All right, boycott all fields. Okay, and then you click search here. Okay, can you see or not? Boycott article. Yeah. All right. So this one, okay, this one is quite latest, quite latest. Testing the effect of moral intensity newsprint. Actually, you can do by yourself as well. You can search right now. So let's say that if like to you have an interest about that kind of EO, okay, you like to have a what change management, the topic of change management, training, recruitment. So you can that will give you an idea how you're going to conduct a research. Okay, I'm going to click here PDF. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay, now you can see testing the effect of moral intensity newsprint on consumer boycott intention. Okay, so is there any so is that any okay that is a hypothesis and this one is a framework. Okay, means that you didn't boycott yet but you have intention to boycott. Okay, then you like to see the relationship. Okay, all right. So they came up with this empirical study over here. Hmm. Then what you can do is, okay, they didn't provide the conclusion section specifically. They just put discussion and limitations. So perhaps that we can control find future research. Okay. Then That's the way how you're going to find the future research. To advance an inquiry, future research could explore the effect of the high moral. See, they already gave you a title, effect of the high moral intensity framing of non-news messages, social media posts about brand misbehavior. Future research could also look at the news framing of different brand misbehavior or the misbehavior of different type brands, consumer boycott intention and behavior. Once they already come up with this kind of topic, future research, so you can use this topic that will give you an idea how you're going to conduct a research. Okay, so are you clear or not? Do you understand or not, guys? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to give you a task. So it is 3:13 right now. Okay, so we have another 45 minutes to go. Okay, so what you can do is, okay, you discuss among your group members. Okay, and then you consult with your group members, and then you need to find an article related to your topic. Okay, and then you come up with that kind of future research. Okay, and then once you already identify the future research, perhaps that you can draw a table. Draw a table, and then you put article, then you put the title, and then the next column would be the future research. So at least you need to find about 10 articles. So from there you have to select which topic that you think that you like to go for it. Okay, so can you do that for me? So each of the group please discuss, and then you come up with Microsoft, write in a Microsoft Word, and then you share it through WhatsApp. Okay, again, I would like to repeat. You have to draw the table. Okay, put the article title. Okay, and then who are the author's name and also year, and then you put the future research. Each of the name. Okay, I need to see that 10 list based on the article that you already searched. Then once you're done, then you share to the group, and then you have to, in that particular Microsoft Word, you can bold which topic do you think that you would like to choose. Okay, so by 4 I would like to see that by 4 p.m. Okay, so can you do that for me, guys?
Yes,
Can,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm going, okay, you can discuss among your group members now. Okay, I'm going to stop. So then at 4 I would like to see, at my WhatsApp group, I would like to see 5 of you already submitted the task that I asked you to do so. Okay, so do remember you have to bold which topic do you think that you would like to choose. Okay, so can you do that for me, guys? Okay, so continue chat through WhatsApp.
Thank you,
Okay,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay.